Hello, dear friends. It was said this year was going to start strong, and it has. I haven't slept for hours listening to news about Venezuela. I only wish the best for this sister nation, and I pray for the suffering of the innocent. I wish for the release of all political prisoners, and that everyone can enjoy freedom and prosperity. Opinion piece. Global role. New timeline. The final phase starts. Torrent of revelations. The boat has shifted. Frequency awakening. News about Venezuela. A tremor of the force. From whispers to roars. Global financial restructuring. Let's start. There are moments in history when the world not only changes, but is transformed. At first, silently. A whisper here, a handshake there, a shockwave in the markets. But suddenly, the whisper becomes a roar. Right now, we are in the initial roar. The storm is passing. The new dawn is golden, and your roar is shaking the network. We have spent decades in a system built on shadows, thriving on division, confusion, and artificial scarcity. But the veil is being lifted. What was once considered impossible is now possible. What they called conspiracy is grabbing international headlines. These global events are pulses in the planet's energy field or synchronicities encoded in the matrix, emerging now as golden keys to a new timeline. Leaving aside politics, currencies, or alliances, what remains is alignment, and therein lies true power. What you feel growing inside you is that fire, that hope, that pressure to move, to change, and to act. They try to silence voices like yours, to suppress truth, to protect their power, and now it's all coming back to haunt them with instant karma. More shocking events will follow. Signs that will light up the sky, shake the media, and electrify the global frequency grid. They will be unmistakable. They won't be whispers or hints. It will be a global roar. At that moment, everything will change. The reset will be a reality. We never wait for savers. We become them. So, keep your frequency high. Hold fast to the truth. Don't chase trends and don't blindly follow anyone. Stay flexible, smart, and sovereign. And when the first boom arrives, remember this. You were part of the mastermind that made the change happen. Venezuela. Venezuela's defense minister refuses to surrender. The Venezuelan opposition tells Sky News that Maduro negotiated his departure from Venezuela. The US was prepared for a second attack on Venezuela, but it won't be necessary due to the success of the operation. Marco Rubio assures that Maduro will be tried in his country, and that there will be no more attacks on Venezuela. Chinese officials were caught in the crossfire when they arrived for meetings with the Venezuelan government. Caracas International Airport under US control receives cargo planes with supplies. The US will govern Venezuela until there is a transition. The US will repair Venezuela's severely damaged oil infrastructure. Maria Corina Machado says Edmundo González should assume the presidency and asks Venezuelans to prepare. The operation in Venezuela was prepared similarly to the one in Syria, by bribing military leaders. That's why we didn't see any air defenses functioning. Caracas residents stock up on food amid political uncertainty. Brazil recognizes Delcy Rodriguez as the interim president of Venezuela. Italy considers the action against Maduro legitimate. Spain risks losing a 1.6 billion euros trade relationship with Venezuela after Maduro's fall. The president of the European Central Bank receives a salary 50% higher than declared, according to the Financial Times, 726,000 in 2024. According to Elisa Aires, the attack on Venezuela is also related to stolen elections in more than 72 countries worldwide. It is an operation guided by Sun Tzu's philosophy. Be awake and then attack when the enemy least expects it. The battle is won before it is fought. The strike was swift, and the situation is under control. Maduro's compound was designed to be impregnable. His plan to escape to a secure room with steel walls never materialized. He was captured before he could hide. It was fortified with steel doors, reinforced walls, and escape routes, or they attacked so quickly he didn't even have a chance to close the door. The days of hiding behind walls of wealth and influence are over. What happened now will be studied in military academies for decades. Delta Force is the most elite special operations group trained for destruction of high-value targets, backed by satellite intelligence, encrypted communications, and rapid infiltration capabilities. The team deployed under a total operational blackout. The targets were attacked. Resistance was minimal, and the mission lasted less than 3 hours. Reset News. X22 report. People will turn against the system that is about to change. I am convinced that 2026 will bring a torrent of revelations about the world. I hope people listen and join us. Mark Sida suggests that the delay in the revaluation could be linked to the situation in Iran, implying that Iraq might be waiting for Iran's willingness to proceed with the revaluation. This theory was supported by news reports about the protest in Iran and the government's response, indicating a complex geopolitical scenario. According to Mr. Poole, the South went off script. The sky didn't change color. It changed its behavior. What was frozen is now in motion. The plan is underway. The final phase has begun. The greatest transfer of wealth is underway. Silent, precise, and irreversible. Prepare for phase 2. The early nights of 2026 are not calendar events. They are shifts in position. The boat moved before most people realized they were still playing a game. This is not a year of speed. It is a year of fixed directions. The first move is never noisy and is never explained. The sky doesn't warn. The South doesn't ask. Systems adjust first. Headlines follow last. Look at the map. Look at the silence. What began without words will not end with them. Economy. Basel Fed elevates physical gold to Tier 1 status, improving bank holdings and demand, and reducing capital burdens, thus boosting gold's appeal compared to speculative paper markets. Corporate bankruptcies reached their highest level in 15 years in 2025, while the price of copper soared due to increased demand. China intensified its mineral stockpiling and expanded its mining operations. The wealth lies not in money, but in time, attention, and energy, your true currencies. Invest them wisely for a fulfilling life, regaining clarity, creativity, and inner power. The fragmentation of global trade reflects deeper economic realignments driven by systemic stress as nations realign payment systems. Trade networks are increasingly splitting into regional and strategic blocs as geopolitical tensions, sanctions regimes, and financial fragmentation intensify. This isn't just about politics, it's a global financial restructuring. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.